Soft tissue injury. Is it rice or is it peace and love? Find out. All right, so we're going to talk about the new philosophy on tissue care. So previously, we used the acronym RICE: rest, ice, compression, and elevation. And this is how, over the last decade or so, soft tissue injuries were treated. Well, guess what? Now the latest research has come out with the new acronym, Peace and Love. Let's talk about peace and love. So P, protection, protect the area of injury. So that means for the first day or two, take it easy, rest, relax. Notice I said the first day or two. Years ago, we used to send patients home to go to bed. That's not the case anymore. E, elevate. So if at all possible, we need to elevate the area of inflammation and pain above the heart to get that drainage of inflammatory fluid out of the area. A, avoid anti-inflammatory medication. Well, this is commonly used in most tissue injuries as a frontline treatment. Actually, the use or overuse of anti-inflammatory medication can delay the healing process. C, compression. Yeah, we want to compress the area of inflammation. A lot of times in the office, we'll use a special type of tape called kinesio tape or rock tape to compress the area and get some more drainage in the area. E, we want to educate the patient on their injury. We want to tell them it's okay to move, no problem. Love. What we want to do is load the structures of tissue once that initial pain has reduced. Notice I said reduced, I didn't say go away completely. We have found, the latest evidence shows that loading tissues is good for tissues. So again, going back to bed, prolonged period of time, isn't what we want to do. We want to load those tissues a little bit and then more progressively. O, be optimistic. Tissue injuries recover at a very high success rate when they're treated properly. So be optimistic that your recovery is going to go well. V, vascularization. So once that area has begun to heal, we want to get blood into it by movement to help that healing process. And lastly, that big evil E, exercise. Yeah, so once a tissue injury starts to recover, it's critical to exercise the area to build strength and stability. So remember, RICE, peace and love.